Happy New Year, everyone. Sorry it's been forever since I've made a video, but here we are. It is January 2nd, and we are in 2022. Oh my gosh. Praying that this year is better than last year. It was kind of rough for many, many people. So we had COVID earlier this month and in my household, and we're all fine now. It was a little touch and go there for a little bit. And then yesterday, I don't know, I came down with 24-hour bug because I feel so much better today. And just touch base, my CAT scan, had a CAT scan last month and everything looked good. No sign of tumor growth. Cancer's still at bay. I'm actually not currently taking the chemo pill because of COVID. They wanted me to wait a month, just to make sure my immune system was back up and good. I'm supposed to start Monday. And then with this little bug I had yesterday, I'll probably just email my oncologist to make sure she's still good with it, and then start the pill back up on Monday. And keep going from there. The only thing they detected on my CAT scan was scarring on my lungs from the COVID. So whatever. I'm at this point consider that excellent, and I am healthy, and I'm going to go with it. So that's where we're at. So starting the new year off with changing our mindset, right? So I of course, you know, I love books and I love to read and I love different pastors, and one of them that I've been listening to, his name is Steven Furtick, and he's, I think, in North Carolina, maybe, I don't know, but anyway, this is one of his books, Crash the Chatterbox. I'm only a few chapters in, but I love it, so I just wanted to share with you guys today because I think this is relevant to so many people. So apparently, you know, according to the Google, there's over 75% of our thoughts are negative, right? That's huge. And most people will be like, no, they're not. I am not that negative. I don't think that way. But yet, when we get up in the morning and go to the closet to put something on, we're like, oh, that's never going to look good on me. I don't fit into that anymore. This sucks. My hair sucks. You know, I can't wear that. I don't look as good as Betsy or whatever, right? And then you walk out of the closet, you figure something out, you walk out and you're fine. But in the meantime, you just had 48 thoughts that were terrible. So I think that's what it's talking about. And I'm going to read some of the stuff in here because it's good, and it's not my words, it's his, but they're good. Let's think about the possibility that, you know, 80% of our thoughts are not only devoid of any power to help us actively, but they really work against us. When we allow our thoughts to go unchecked, a steady drip of lies cements the wrong patterns within our minds, building like a Berlin Wall of bad beliefs. Now, maybe this isn't true for everybody, but I know that I have built probably a Berlin Wall a couple different times in my life. In fact, there's probably still one standing. Like I'd really like to tear that down this year. You know, did you hear in the office where you work or in the home where you raise your children telling you that there's no point in trying so hard because no one's ever going to notice anyway? Do you hear it the loudest at the end of the day when the mistakes and the regrets and missteps can bounce around the room unobstructed by progress or perspective? You sounded really stupid when. How will you ever recover from? Why would anybody want to be around a person like you when? God must be awfully disappointed in the way you know, and you fill in the blanks. Like, we all do this. It's crappy. And it's all in our mind. And it's all, like, it literally is a battlefield in our mind. And we have to take control of that. And it is so not easy. But that's what this year is going to be about, right? Most people go through life thinking God never speaks to them, when in fact he's always speaking to them, to everyone, always directing, sometimes warning, sometimes affirming. But we hear so little of what he says because our consciousness of his voice is obscured by our mental static, right? That chatterbox he's talking about. When lies are not confronted, callings are not fulfilled. And that sucks because so many people go through life not fulfilling their calling. They just go through the everyday, mundane, things that they do. They go to work, they go to school, they come home, they eat, they sleep, they get up and they do it over again, and nothing changes. There's nothing extra. There's nothing more to it. And then at the end of your life, you're like, nah, that was great. I don't want to be that person. And I don't think any of you do either. So here's a few reflective questions that he's got in this book to kind of get started on that. And I just highlighted a couple because they're kind of pretty good. So at this point in your life, what great deeds are in danger of remaining undone because of the lies that were planted in your past or fears that are looming in your future? I'll read that again. At this point in your life, what great deeds are in danger of remaining undone because of lies that were planted in your past or fears that are looming in your future? Like, that one kind of hit me, you know? Like, I have some things that are undone and things that I want to accomplish. So I got to get this under control. Is there a throb or an ache because of a sense of purpose in your heart that remains unfulfilled? Like, sometimes you see something or you have an idea or this thought pops into your head and you get like this burning desire to do it, make it come to fruition. And then all of a sudden you're like, I don't know how to do that. Like, that is so outside my wheelhouse. And then it fizzles, right? And that flame dies. Well, it wasn't ignited for nothing. So no matter what it is or what it was, go with it and figure it out. Doesn't matter if you know how to do it or how. YouTube, for crying out loud. We have so many advantages to figuring things out than we did 20 years ago. Like, seriously, pull it up on YouTube, Google it, ask your dad, ask your neighbor, whatever. Get ideas on how it is to accomplish whatever it is that you're thinking about and go for it and keep moving forward. How are the people closest to you, your kids, parents, spouses, friends, suffering because of the lies that you believe? The things that you're not accomplishing, the things that you're not doing with them or sharing with them or whatever because you feel like you're not strong enough, not smart enough, not whatever. So these things have to stop, people. Like, and I think we all kind of suffer from that stuff. For instance, I'm sitting in my closet. I have like this little walk-in closet, this little weird room in my house that we've created into my walk-in closet. I feel so bougie now. I painted it pink, as you can see, but I'm still not done. I have trim on this window to do. But when I started, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to tear off all this trim, repaint it, put it back on, figure out how to make this work, make this space, you know, utilize this space. I'm not like, yeah, it was way outside my wheelhouse, but you know what? I did it. I enlisted some help. I looked on some Google and I figured it out. I had to cover this crazy ass mural that was on the wall from the previous owners. And it took me 5 coats of paint. All 5 of them had primer in them. So it was like insane. I hate painting. So, but you have to somehow just overcome it and be like, yeah, you know what? I can do this and I've got this and go for it. So in order to just move forward, trying to quiet that chatterbox, trying to get a hold of the mind games and win that war, right? It's not easy. It's way easier said than done. But if we all just stick to it, right? And here are some confessions that Stephen Furtick put in this book, which is confession number 1. God says, I am. Overpowering the lies of the enemy and your insecurities. Number 2, God says he will overpower the lies of the enemy in your fears. Number 3, God says he has overpowered the lies of the enemy in your condemnation. Confession 4, God says, I can overpower the lies of the enemy in your discouragement. So if we put these 4 confessions to work, we put them to work, we believe them, and we move on those, the truth is this: when it comes to hearing God's voice, identity always comes before action. Identity always comes before action. So if we can identify his voice, then we can put it into action. And I know that's like a whole nother thing, because hearing him and identifying it is on a whole nother level as it is. But if we believe that he's there for us, we believe in the confessions, we believe what they stand for, we can hear, we can identify them, and then we can put them into action. So that's what New Year's is going to be about for me, is hearing and putting into action, believing, quieting the mind, you know, taking control of that battlefield. I'd like to be the leader, the commander, and the overcomer. So I believe that you all can too. So anyway, that's where I'm at. That's where this is going. And you guys have a fantastic day. Happy New Year. Happy 2022. And yes, I'm definitely hoping and praying for a better year this year than last year. But I will take it one day at a time. Take care, everybody.